Welcome back for another Les Kevin, more tech from UTEC IT, right, Les?
UTECIT.com. It's fantastic to be here.
It's only fantastic because of the guests we have.
Obviously, it isn't us. I mean, we know that.
So, Ann Arbor's first family, most amazing family.
Ah, yep.
That's sweet.
Very nice.
Her voice will give it away because you can recognize it anywhere. We have Tammi Carr here with the ChadTough Foundation, right?
Hi, guys. Thanks so much for
hello.
having me.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, of course. Of course.
You know, we have a lot of folks in the community that come visit with us, successful, and a lot of foundations, nonprofits, but this one is definitely special.
Well, you guys have been supportive for a long time of ChadTough.
Close to our heart.
Yeah,
Yep.
and we're very grateful for the support from our, the local community has been a big part of helping us to get where we are now.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll get into the story here, but I think it's easy for the community to rally around a special family like this and a special cause that nobody wanted, right?
No.
And but you guys have made lemonade out of lemons,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
And
we've done what we've had
yeah.
to do.
we're doing amazing things over there. So tell us, ChadTough.
Well, I know, all of you know we lost our son Chad at the age of 5 to a brain tumor called DIPG. And at the time, there was basically nothing to do beyond radiation. And as a parent, to hear that, you think,
the worst.
okay, it's cancer, right? What do we do? Okay, let's you get yourself revved up. Okay, what's going to be the answer here? And then they're like, he has about 9 to 11 months to live. And that's just the gut punch of the worst day of your life. And he ended up surviving 14 months. And during that time, we realized that there had been very little done in 60 years about this disease. And Neil Armstrong's daughter had it.
Wow.
And nothing had been changed in 60 years. You put him on the moon, but you can't do anything for these kids. And that just didn't seem right. So we realized that we were going to have to do something, because if somebody had done something 30 years ago, maybe he'd still be here.
Right.
So we wish it, I wish this wasn't my life, but I feel like God put me in a place to help change this for the families that come next. And, I'll tell you that, and this is something that we didn't know until we had no choice but to know, brain cancer, well, first of all, cancer is the leading cause of disease-related death in kids. Brain cancer is the leading cause within cancer. So
Really?
yes, and who knows that, right? Like, until you need to. Now, this disease they call rare, DIPG, of those kids that die from brain cancer every year, 50% are from DIPG. That's
Right.
significant. And the fact that nobody was paying attention, it's not okay. And they deserve more than that. And so that's what we embrace every day of our lives, that those kids that come down the road, we want there to be hope for them. And now there's hope now. There are trials, there are options, there are things that can be done. There are really brilliant minds working on this. And we've seen a significant change over the last 7 years. And they believe there'll be a cure in our lifetime, which is
Wow.
wonderful.
But isn't that kind of frustrating? Because everybody says it's rare, and I think when you say it's rare, it's almost like an excuse to put it off to the side, right? And
It's rare, but 50%.
Well, here's the deal. All pediatric cancer is rare. Thank goodness, right? But people don't think of it in that same way, right? You see these bald kids on television and people pulling at your heartstrings, give to this organization and give to that. And you're supporting kids. Well, the thing is, the majority of those you're not. I mean, maybe you're getting 1 penny of your dollar that goes to kids because it's rare. But people don't realize that. So all pediatric cancer is rare. Within pediatric cancer, DIPG is not that rare. So I think that, and when you look at the history of pediatric cancer, leukemia, back in the day, it was very much like DIPG. It was, there's not much you can do, make those memories. Well, Sidney Farber did some work around that. And what was developed from research into pediatric leukemia was chemotherapy. So chemotherapy was developed from somebody researching pediatric leukemia, and look how that's changed the scope of all cancers.
Right. Absolutely.
And DIPG is a similar cancer in that it's got that rare, that it's really hard.
Yeah.
But now pediatric leukemia is almost 90% survivable. So that's where we want the trajectory of DIPG to go, and brain cancer in general.
Well, I think going back, this will be the 5th gala coming up here.
Yes.
And I think the first one, it felt like the tone was, we're going to rally to fight this. And even before the gala, we're going to rally to fight this thing. And I think this last gala, the tone seemed like it was much different up there on the stage. And I forget the doctor, but we're making
Dr. Koshman at Michigan. Yep.
We're making phenomenal strides in such a short time, thanks to what you guys are doing, right?
Well, there is impact being made. And we, yes, it's rare, relatively speaking, but we have really, and it's not just us, we have 40 family partners now from around the country. Mm-hmm. We don't want everybody to have to start a foundation. It's a lot of work, and we need to be efficient in what we do around this disease. There isn't a ton of money, so let's make sure it's done the right way. So we've given families who want to honor their child an opportunity to join with us, and we're going to help them honor their child because we all want the same thing, which is ultimately a cure. And I think all of these families rallying together, we fill in some gaps in research that then allow these amazing scientists to get the data they need to then get funded by the federal government. And that's starting to change. Mm-hmm. So yes, there is a feeling of hope now. There's a lot of momentum. The life expectancy has been extended by about 6 months, which may not seem a lot, but when nothing has happened in 60 years,
oh yeah,
it's a big deal.
So Tammi, it's obviously emotional, right? And now you've got life purpose.
Definitely.
But where does somebody start? Because in my mind, it just seems like such an overwhelming position to be in.
Oh yeah, and I don't blame anyone who crawls into a hole after they go through something like that. Yeah. For me, our goal was not to start this big organization. It wasn't this master plan. Mm-hmm. It was, we have to do something. And I remember sitting in a room with my father-in-law, my husband, with a lawyer as we were kind of putting together the beginnings of this. And we said, listen, if we could raise $500,000 a year for this, that would just be great. What an amazing legacy for Chad, doing something to change something. That was kind of like our initial, we want to do something. We want to keep the momentum moving. Well, last year, we raised almost $7 million, and we've become the largest research foundation for DIPG in the world. That was not the plan, but that's what was needed.
But you got into action.
Yeah, and we've built a sustainable organization. We have an incredible team. We have families rallying around, doctors from all over the country, an amazing scientific advisory council, and that's what the disease needed. So I look at it as this was not our plan, but it was God's plan. So we're just plugging along and doing what we're supposed to do.
Just staying in action, moving forward, and people are coming.
Definitely. And, there's a lot of momentum, and it's amazing how many people are impacted by this, and the degrees of separation are really not that. I mean, it's incredible. Every day it's somebody else who knows somebody who knows somebody, and they've now at least heard of it, and then we get the calls, right? And I think that we're doing what we're supposed to do, and that when you talk about purpose, I feel like that was Chad's job while he was on this earth. I think that's what he was put here to do, and unfortunately, that's the case, right? But we're just continuing the work he started.
Yeah, but what an impact!
It is, and for me to think about him and the legacy, that. He's changing the world, and that's an incredible thing. 5 years, he did more in his 5 years than most people do in a lifetime.
Right. Wow.
So that $7 million, a lot of that is generated from the gala coming up in a few weeks, right?
Yes.
And the auction. You want to talk about a little bit about the auction, how people can get involved, especially if they're not going to be able to attend the gala?
For sure. So the gala is our biggest fundraiser, and last year raised over $1.5 million at that event. So, yes, it's a substantial amount. But our auction is a huge part of that. And we have a silent auction that it's online. So anybody can participate.
Great.
Yeah. And it's highlighted at the gala and all the items are there, but you can bid from anywhere. We have items from all over the country. And that silent auction last year generated over 400,000 of that 1.5 million. So that's a pretty significant silent auction. And it's incredible. You know, there's a lot of great auction items on there.
A lot.
It's a good way for people to, you know, we have a lot of celebrities or sports personalities that give their time to do an auction item. And I think that they appreciate the mission, but they also know that this is an auction that people get really excited about, and they're going to generate some significant revenue with their time. So.
What's some of the cool ones?
Oh, gosh.
There's a list of like 600 cool things. Not to sound self-serving, but when you go, when you're part of this auction, the experiences you guys create, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Carolyn went, right?
My wife went with the Scandal crew, and she got to go out to
California
and be around the Scandal crew when they were filming there. If you're a sports fan, I mean, it's unbelievable.
This year, well, I just thought of something. As you're a Buckeye, I know that, right? We've got.
I didn't have to bring that up.
You know, but this is both Michigan and it's for the Michigan-Ohio State game. Fox is out there doing their show live from there, and they're inviting a group to come to their show beforehand. You know, you meet all the guys. So Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, Urban, and Charles Woodson, and some, you know, so it's both sides. And then you go to the game with their tickets.
I wasn't going to say
That's
greatest coach ever. I was going to give Coach Carr that honor.
Okay.
But we'll say Urban's the second greatest coach. Is that okay?
That's cool experience, because I think there's a lot, like last year, the Ole Miss experience, and you said this year the Notre Dame experience is going to be pretty incredible too.
Oh, yeah, we've got Notre Dame experiences. We've got where you go to Notre Dame USC game and you get to do a tour behind the scenes and then walk with the team from the Basilica into the tunnel and down on the sidelines for warm-ups. And
we should do something like that. That would be for like our podcast. Like we could walk them from the drinking fountain in and get them on our
She's going to do that as a fundraiser. We have to pay to get somebody on.
How much would you like to bid for that?
We had to write her a big check to even get her to come down here to be on our thing.
No.
CBS Sunday Morning. I like the CBS Sunday Morning show. That was an auction item last year.
Yeah, we have that with Dana again.
To be on set. There's ESPN. There's Fox. But just local stuff. I mean, we've got some, shopping experiences at Emden. We've got, we've got some local breweries and we've got local wineries, distilleries that experiences.
And if you want a vacation package this year, holy cow, we have like trips all over.
Wow.
Like I think the best auction we've had yet. Mm-hmm. So, and people can learn about it just at ChadTough.org, and you can pre-register for it too. Mm-hmm. And then you'll get notified when it opens. It opens on the 6th.
Oh, it opens a week
before the gala.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you need to start bidding early and often.
And then does it close that night?
It closes that night at the gala at 8:00.
Okay.
Well, they had last year. They had a Tom Brady Lego. I forget how many Lego pieces, but they had a mural of Tom Brady on there.
This year it's Lloyd. And
cool.
And the winner gets it signed, and then the winner gets to come to his cigar shack and have cigars and wine and have some delightful conversation.
Nice. What's the cigar shack? I mean, that sounds like an interesting.
It's in our backyard, and it's his own little. Yeah, it's like a he shed in the backyard, but it's got cable and heat and air conditioning and a cigar filter and lots of cigars.
That sounds cool.
Yeah,
that's a great. That's a great auction item.
Yeah, it's a very unique experience. That is for sure.
Well, it's a great way for somebody to give back for a fun cause, and you can create so many different experiences, shopping. I mean, there's purses there, there's jewelry. I mean, last year, I think that we gave a couple puppies away, right? We had some people bidding.
Oh, we'll have a puppy again this year.
Some money on that, and that was pretty fun to see.
Yeah, that's in the live auction. And Chad, he has a puppy, and Tootie is the puppy's name, and he's not a puppy anymore. He's with us still, and Chad's favorite thing in the whole world was this dog. And so it's the same breed, and we bring a puppy to the auction, and everybody falls in love with him throughout the cocktail reception. And then last year, he raised a lot of money. The puppy,
awesome.
yeah, he raised. I think it was almost $20,000 on a puppy.
Wow.
So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, people get really generous, right? You know, I think people come in and they want to make an impact, and so they might as well get, you know, something really amazing while
Right,
doing it.
sure,
So
right, sure.
that's sort of how we embrace it.
Well, people should want to go to the gala, and they should want to see this, the experiences, the people you meet there, just a fun-filled, uplifting at night. But tickets are hard to get. I mean, you think a Michigan ticket for a Notre Dame football game or a Michigan State game's tough to get. You got to try to get into this gala here. You know what I mean?
Well, it sells out, but we don't really advertise it because it's more, you know, behind the
mouth,
it's just people that have come, they don't stop coming. And unfortunately, we're capped out at the number that it's at Chrysler Arena. And this year it's chaired by Janine and Jawan Howard and Kim and Larry Rico. So it's kind of a basketball theme. And our wonderful presenting sponsors, you know, Thomson Reuters is our newest presenting sponsor. They've been incredible. And the M-Den, which they've been with us since day one. And then the Alvin Glick Foundation, who, you know, Mr. Glick and Lloyd have been friends for a long time. And he passed away recently. And his family is just continuing his legacy with supporting ChadTough. Wow. Yeah.
I was going to say, they've been phenomenal for all things Michigan, haven't they?
Oh, they're
I mean,
incredible. And all things ChadTough. I mean, they, you know, they're one of our top family supporters, and they're there for whatever. And they're involved in our board. They're very involved in our foundation. So,
and that's something that we talk about, some big prizes, and you know, not everybody can spend $20K on puppies, but there's so many other unique shopping experiences, you know, artwork piece, you know, fun,
something for everyone.
And it's at any range, you know, that you can spend something on and walk out there with some neat prizes. And anybody that wants to donate, they can just donate online.
Oh,
too.
definitely.
And that $5 and $10 donations,
They
all
add
those
up.
add up.
That's how we got where we are. Like well, yes, we have some big donors, but the majority of our gifts are smaller gifts that are
Grassroots?
just, yes, we are a grassroots organization, and the word is spread, and people give what they can give, and we appreciate all of it.
We need more time. We need more volunteers. We need.
Yeah.
There's fun runs, right? We've got a fantasy 5K you can just sign up for, right?
Oh, yeah, in September. Actually, this year it's going to be October 1st, and it's in Saline, and it's a 5K. And the other thing that we do with that is that it's virtual, too. So if you can't come to Saline, you can run from wherever you are.
I remember during COVID, I went and picked up my T-shirt, and I
Yeah.
still ran around, you know, Travis Point sub and wearing my T-shirt. And
Well,
yeah.
that's what I tell people. I don't even care if you run, right? Sit on your couch, but wear the shirt.
Right.
And then when
Right.
somebody asks you about the shirt, you get to share who we are and why you support it.
And go to that event, the family day built around the finish at Saline High School and what you all do. It's almost it's not like a fair or anything, but it's this big family day experience. It's really fun for
And we're
just
trying to
go
grow
and-
that too.
Yeah.
That's really what we want. You know, the run, walk it, don't even do that part. You know, we have a tot race where, you know, you got little toddlers running from like hash mark to hash mark on the football field. And we had a dunk tank last year and an obstacle course. And we're doing that for families to come and be able to have, you know, a nice day. And also for the young families to learn about ChadTough because, you know, Chad's classmates are now going into middle school.
Oh, wow.
And so, you know, I think that it's important that we keep the younger community here knowing who we are. And so we want those young families to come out.
Wow.
Yeah, and I would encourage anybody to look at this, go out and check the website, right? There's a lot of testimonials out there, and if you hear the stories for these families, and that is really neat. And like I said, last year it seemed like the tone was now we have hope and optimism that we are making progress, and to hear the families stand up there and tell their stories and stuff like that, and you can't help but not want to get involved, can you?
Well, I think that you see why this is important, and I think the gala does a great job of letting us express that. And anytime you know, yes, it's rare, sort of, right? But when people can see the impact and things changing, I think that that's important. So they know that their time, their effort, their dollars are making a difference. And we really want to show that because it is. And I also want to say that I think that the Ann Arbor, Saline, Washtenaw County, Metro Detroit community should be very proud because, we are part of this community.
Right.
And this community is why we are where we are. Everybody embracing it, everybody feeling like it's part of them and their responsibility.
You're making a global impact.
Yeah, and it started here, and we're always going to be here.
It's incredible too. We've got University of Michigan Hospital, right in our backyard for you to be able to really have
definitely
that impact, that local impact.
Well, and when Chad was diagnosed, Michigan was not great at brain tumors. Now they're one of the leading institutions in the world because they focused, we gave resources, and they've got brilliant minds there. And that's what can happen. If you give momentum and you give focus and you give resources, they are incredible. And
in a short, if you think about it, that's a short amount of time to make that leap.
No doubt. In 7 years. And for DIPG, top 3 in the country. Yeah. And for brain tumors in general, they're up there.
Well, I know your family would never want to be chosen for the mission you've been chosen on. And so it's hard, but you think about it, there's a reason, right?
I know.
The hospital that we have here, the amazing family we have, and the people that can say, hey, we're going to accept this and do this.
Well, I agree with you. I would never have chosen this, and I would give it anything back to not have it be. But I do know that we're making an impact. We're making a difference. We're changing things for the families that are going to come next. They are. And it could be anyone. This disease does not discriminate. We thought our child had a concussion. He'd fallen. And next thing you know, you're hearing these, what are you talking about? Right. And that can be anyone. And it's not okay to do nothing. And that's what's happened for so long. So yes, I wish Chad were here. I would give anything to have him back. But I'm really proud of what he started, and we're going to finish his job.
A lot of the folks that we've had here, and it is this theme of motherhood. It comes back so many times when we've talked with people, and what in your life drove you, what is something like that, and they always come back to their mom, and I think this is really an example.
Well, thank you. I when you lose a child and you have other children too, the only thing you want is for your other kids to be okay.
Right.
And I think that we have 2 other boys, and I think that they have learned so much from this. It's helped them become the people that they are today too, not sweating the small stuff. Understanding that you really can make an impact on this world, and what can one person do? They can do a lot, and
that's a really valuable lesson to learn at a young age.
It is, and also that life is hard, and I don't think that that's something that I wish my kids didn't have to see, and go through what they did. But I also know that they understand some things that maybe I didn't even understand, as I was a young adult. They've seen it firsthand, and they know what it is to work hard and to work for purpose, and very proud of them too.
Well, you guys have done a great job as a family, because it's tough to balance it, right? You have a devastating, tragic event like this, and so you could succumb to that. You didn't, but if you put all your energy in that, sometimes the family suffers, right? But you guys have, anybody that knows your family knows that it hasn't, it's made it strong. And
I've made, and my husband and I have always said, like, that is, the time we spend on ChadTough is the time we would spend with Chad, but we don't take that away from the time we spend with CJ and Tommy, and we don't miss their activities. I think it gave me a perspective. I work-life balance is important, and I maybe wasn't so good at that before, right? And family first is one of our mottos at ChadTough, our staff, like family first. And we don't, stray from that. And so I hope that my kids are witnessing this and what you can do and when something really bad happens. You don't have to crawl in a hole, even though I don't blame anyone for doing that either. But you know, I hope that they've learned a lot from this.
Well, from our conversations, you know, prior to the show, it sounds like you're pretty active with them.
We are. we don't miss anything. Like they are our priorities, and ChadTough is up there because that's the time with Chad. But I'm not going to miss the time we have with them on this earth for anything.
Yeah. So what are you doing with it?
Well, I was going to say, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about that misdirected son of yours, CJ, that's going west when he should be going south, right?
Well, I don't know about that south thing.
Yeah, me either.
Actually, he's not going far enough west.
Yeah, I guess. Our son CJ will be playing football at Notre Dame, so he chose to follow his own path, and you know that's a hard decision to make as somebody who grew up in the Michigan family. The easy thing would have been to just stay at Michigan.
Yeah.
But
what did Grandpa say?
Grandpa will support his grandson with whatever he wants.
Well, he's got two grandpas that bleed and that are both very successful.
My dad had a harder time with it, actually.
Really?
Oh, yeah. My dad was an All-American at Michigan, too. And
wow.
Yeah, and he was like, are you sure this is what... Yeah, I mean, I think that CJ's always wanted to blaze his own trail and never wanted to hear, oh, it's because you're a car. And those words happen a lot. He's fought that his whole life.
Sure.
And so I think part of him was like, okay, well, I'm going to go. I don't think, you know, Alabama and Georgia and Notre Dame are going to offer me because I'm a car. And so I'm going to go there and do what I want to do and build my own. And, you know, our son Tommy is coming right behind him. And I don't know that he has that same feeling. Like he's more of a home kid. I could see him staying around home, but CJ, I always knew was going to go do something outside of in his backyard.
And you made a good point too that you know, because of the scheduling now and how rare Michigan and Notre Dame play, he never grew up with that big rivalry. Like when I was a kid, played Michigan Notre Dame every single year. And now it's like once every 10 years. Where he didn't, he didn't have that rivalry.
No, with your team down south, you know, those Buckeyes, that would be tough. And Michigan State would be tough. But Notre Dame, I mean, they don't play that much. So I think it's the perfect fit for him to be able to be somewhat close to home where we can participate. Because we're going to have his younger brother playing on Friday night.
Right.
Yeah.
Film Saturday morning. And then we got to go, right? And if he were somewhere else farther, that would be hard.
Yeah, you can make that drive.
Yeah, we can do that. That's 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. So that's just close enough for him to have his family engaged.
So are both grandpas hanging out at the, what's it called, the
Cigar Shack?
And talking about transfer portal right now?
Oh. Well, I can tell you Lloyd's in there, but when my dad is in town, they do spend time out there and have lots of conversations about the good old days.
Oh, okay.
So, we're a football family. There's no question.
And we got Tommy coming up. So is Tommy basketball, baseball, football?
He was baseball.
Tommy was Mr. Baseball, and he is a really good baseball player. But the game got too slow for him, and he has shifted focus to basketball and football now. And he always played all three. I mean, again, now when I say always, we did not allow our boys to play tackle football until middle school. So we are not like, they weren't playing that at third grade. Like CJ's middle school year was the first time he had ever played tackle. They played flag. They threw a ball. They knew the game. But I think that when Tommy went to football, and he's always loved basketball, I think that the pace of the baseball,
right? Yeah.
He started to want more speed and more constant activity, and it's so sad for me. But
he's CJ's backup. You said, right?
He is. So he was as a freshman. His freshman year, he was his backup on varsity, and he got some cleanup duty, and then he would also get to play on JV. So he had a good year, and next year, CJ's senior season is coming up, and I think he'll get, they'll get him in there a little bit more probably, and we'll see what happens.
That's cool. So you said CJ's going to play his senior year at Saline, and then right after, because you're on trimester, boom, he's gone to Notre Dame in November and can start practicing with the team and even participate in bowl.
Yeah,
bowl
he
practice.
Can't. Obviously, he would never play in the bowl game. He's going to be brand new and really green, but he will get those practices.
Just having that experience before his true freshman year at Notre Dame is huge.
He's an early enrollee, but he'll be the earliest enrollee opportunity they've ever had
Yeah.
because they don't really have kids that have been on this trimester. So he'll go in November.
And so he'll be done then with his high school credits. That'll be all taken care of, or will he have to still? Okay.
No, he actually has enough credits that he could graduate at the end of this year.
Okay.
He could be. He did contemplate going a year early, but you know,
You want to have your senior year.
Yeah,
And Mama doesn't want to rush him out of home.
No,
yet. She wants more time.
I'm already
She
like,
took that option off the table
yeah,
for him.
I was not new. I'd like to keep him around as long as we can. I'm already in denial that November is very close to where we are right now. But no, it's exciting.
Denial's not a river.
No, it is a real thing. But no, we're just, you know, we're very blessed, and the boys know, you know, they are blessed. They've been through a lot, and they're really hard workers. And I think nothing irritates me more than hearing that things were just handed to them, because I know that is not the case. And they've had to battle. Things come both ways with that name. I can promise you that.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I'm super proud of them because they are, first and foremost, they're really good people. And they've been blessed with great athleticism, and that's fantastic. But they're good humans, and they treat people kindly, and we're really, really blessed.
Wow.
So one more time, so it's ChadTough.org, right?
Yes.
That's where folks can learn more about how to
Get involved
get involved.
Yeah,
and then,
sign up, pre-register for that auction. You can do that on
Absolutely.
there, and then you'll get notified when it opens via text, and everything's via text, and really convenient and easy to use.
And all your
So,
events are there, right?
Yeah.
So the run, everything,
Yes.
any kind of, okay.
everything we have upcoming, you know, is on our website, and we're, you know, again, really grateful to everyone in the community who supports us, including UTEC.
Outstanding.
Yeah, we need money, we need time, we need volunteers, we need
There's always
anything.
there's no
somebody
question.
can do something. You know, there's no reason they can't get
No,
involved. And
no, not everybody needs to, you know, give what you can, whether it's your time or your money. That, you know, we're grateful for all of it.
And we're looking forward to the gala that we have, where we got no families up there on stage, just a blank screen, right?
Right,
And
when
a
that-
podium with
Like
no
Lloyd
speakers.
says, one day we're gonna have a really big party, but it's gonna be to celebrate that we've, you know, beat this thing.
Yep. So
great.
we didn't lie. We did not disappoint this time, right?
Nope,
We said we had an amazing guest, and we
Absolutely.
followed through with that. Amazing story, amazing family, wonderful stuff. So, but we need some conflict here. And so we normally close our show out, Tammy, where we ask somebody what their favorite bourbon is. And you said you don't like the brown stuff, you like the clear stuff.
So you got two vodka drinkers over here.
Yeah, we do. But we're going to even change it more. We're going to make her pick her favorite support staff person at ChadTough.
Oh my gosh. I can't do that.
Well, Ann Kay said she wanted me to ask that question.
Oh,
'cause
that's
she
funny.
wanted.
That's
yeah,
funny.
She wanted her name announced, but
Well, Ann Friedholm is our CEO, and she is
Yeah, she's amazing.
she's amazing. And you know, like, again, if I were doing this, all of it, it would be really hard, right? Like, we have a incredible staff.
well, I said that because I know Ann Friedholm would be on the phone calling us, yelling at us that.
She's the boss. She's the boss.
Well, that's another amazing lady, and anybody that works and reaches out to ChadTough will come in contact with her right away. And again, she's
one of
phenomenal.
many. I'll tell you that. We
Directing
are
where
really
we go.
blessed with the people we have on our team.
and it's national now, right? We've got
Yeah.
families from all over, and so.
Unfortunately, right? Like,
Right.
but you know, we're all going to work together to beat it.
Right.
Well,
Thanks for
thank you.
bringing that back.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.